Very much for joining me, and if you are just joining us, this is Rose on All Sides, and we will be talking with Mr. Uche Okafor-Mefor, who is the deputy leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
There is a way that you and your members actually move. You guys move big. Because downstairs in our premises, there are quite a number of members, a large, members of your group downstairs.
Yes, because that is what made us whom we are. We are bold, we are courageous, and we know what we are looking for. We have been maimed, we have been marginalized, millions of people have been killed, and since after the war, it appears that all those things that led to the war are still there.
Okay.
And of course, you're a witness to it, unless you don't want to tell yourself the truth.
Why do you want to harass and humiliate the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria?
We are not harassing anybody. You are here in the United Kingdom, isn't it?
Yes.
You know about picketing, isn't it?
Very well.
Boris Johnson was recently picketed.
Oh, yes.
Before then, John Major, the former British Prime Minister.
But this is actually alien to us to a large extent.
Okay, so that is why Nigeria is backward. Nigeria is several years behind civilization. And that is why when people are talking about, why are you throwing eggs and all that, the whole world is laughing at Nigeria and Nigerian politicians. And by the way, let me just put it this way. The entire existence of Nigeria, phantom existence of Nigeria is questioned. IPOB, Indigenous people of Biafra, are questioning the legitimacy of the contraption called Nigeria. And so anybody making all manner of arguments are not getting it, because there was never a time when the so-called ethnic nationalities that are lumped together in that contraption called Nigeria today came together and signed any document and agreed to be one country, one nation. Nigeria is a case of fraud put together by Lord Lugard, and the British colonial administrators. And so, putting people who have divergent, antithetical, hostile values together. And the result today is what you are seeing. The center can no longer hold, unless we don't want to tell ourselves the truth.
Let us face it, if the government of Nigeria has not marginalized you people or your people like you claim, there wouldn't be any need for seeking autonomy.
Well, let me set the tone here. You know about Biafra Nigeria war?
Of course.
Right. And you know that millions of people were massacred. And after the war in 1970, there was the promise of the 3 hours program of reconciliation, rehabilitation, and reintegration. And all those things are just textbook theories and experimentation. It has never come to pass. Let me not bug anybody with Nigerian history, because we have gone too far. We have gone beyond that, because this is just a waste of time. Indigenous people of Biafra, led by Nnamdi, Kanu, and the deputy too, is seeking for ultimate restoration of the land of Biafra, because our people are still being used as guinea pig experiments in that contraption called Nigeria. And in the first place, Nigeria is a contraption. It is an illegal entity that has been a killing field.
Was there no better way you could talk to the federal government about it, or maybe you could go to the United Nations instead of the activities that you're carrying out? Because quite a number of Nigerians are frowning at it.
Right, they can frown all they like. What we are doing is civil disobedience. We have not carried, have you seen any IPOB family member carrying AK-47, carrying a rocket propelled launcher, unlike Fulani headsmen? Have you questioned Fulani headsmen? What have you to say to Fulani headsmen that have official state sponsorship? The federal government of that contraption called Nigeria, the cabal in Asawok,
yes,
are effectively supporting and arming Fulani headsmen.
Okay.
Have you ever seen any Fulani headsman that has been taken to court and jailed? What you have seen in recent past is where, if you see Fulani headsmen rampaging, destroying farms, villages, the locals, when they raise their voices, the police will come and make even the victims, who are the locals, the perpetrators, and release Fulani headsmen. Evidence are bound. Okay. And the question we're asking is, for how long will this impunity continue? And Nigerians, especially the politicians and the vulnerable masses, are just going about their normal business as if nothing is happening.
Okay,
we cannot continue like this. The politicians from Biafra land are also responsible for what is going on now, because they have been subservient to the Fulani Caliphate, selling the collective interests of our people for their own selfish aim.
You think they do not believe in
your cause? Of course, we have engaged them. They are not doing enough.
Is that the reason the former deputy president was physically assaulted in Germany?
When you talk about physical assault, maybe you have to define it and explain it. IPOB family members are embarking on civil protests, and which have been part and parcel of the way we go about sensitizing the whole international community. We picketed the politician that came in Germany, or to Germany in Nuremberg, to come and eat New Yam Festival. Yes. And I ask you, do you grow yam in United Kingdom? Do you grow yam in Germany?
No.
Okay, so New Yam Festival is celebrated and observed in Biafra land, and especially in the upland part of Biafra land, the Igbo land, and on some other places.
That wasn't organized to law him out or law out any politician.
Sorry?
Like this is usual. We hear about occasions or events like this, that the Igbo nation, which we know that they are a culturally inclined people, so they have events like this across. We recently had the Festival of Arts and Culture of the Igbo nation here in the UK. So you have events like this all around.
Don't twist it. Don't get it twisted here. We have respect for our culture. Individually, we attend our cultural events, including Iriji Festival. But we take exception where politicians who have been responsible for the misery that our people are passing through are attending such events. Most of them have their families abroad.
Yes.
They train their children abroad. They
Yes.
have their wives abroad. They loot public funds and buy properties abroad. But while back home, yes, they continue to truncate the future of the younger generation.
You talked about the definition of physically assaulting. That is physically assaulting him. His clothes is being pulled off him, is being hit, and eggs being thrown on him.
Nobody physically assaulted anybody. Nobody. How about the AK-47 that were being used to shoot IPOB family members?
Yes.
How about armored tankers that they are using to kill IPOB family members?
Do you know what?
How about the Nigerian army that have been invading, killing, maiming, destroying?
There's a write-up online by one Ebuka who said that he was initially in support of the IPOB, but now he has stopped even financially because he feels, and that some of your kingsmen are speaking and not in support of the assault on AK Kwerimadu, because he's a gentleman, he's a fine politician. He's been in the National Assembly back and forth for the last 20 years, and that he's not deserving of such treatment. Maybe there could have been some other politician in his place.
Thank you very much. You rightly said Uche Okafor-Mefor has been in National Assembly for the past...
Close to 20 years?
Yes, close to 20 years. Okay. And so, what do you think that he has done for the people where he comes from? The people that sent him to the National Assembly. What has he done? There are a lot of Operation Python dance has been experimented 3 times now. When you talk to them, they will say there is a way of doing it. There is a way of doing it.
And you guys feel they are not standing up well enough.
Now, they call you miscreant. They call you, just like somebody looking at me, am I a child? I have my family. But somebody will go and sit down somewhere and concoct all manner of evil and call me a terrorist. And call me a small boy. I'm also an elder in Biafland, for goodness sake. And now, what we are saying is that they are not doing enough. And people are being killed, people are dying. Okafor-Mefor, for instance, should recognize that he's a symbol of Nigerian federal figure. And should take it. I expected them to go back to the drawing board to know that people are not happy. People are not, they are not happy. They are not, accepting whatever is being given to them anymore. This is a situation whereby the master will eat bone and throw it down for the so-called miscreants as they describe us to. So what we're saying here is that Okafor-Mefor has been there. There are so many of them who have been there. When you thought they would say they call police for it, they call the army for it, they call your manner of names and all that. They connive with the Fulani Islamic fundamentalists.
With your success in successfully harassing Okafor-Mefor, the group seems to be ginger up to do this more to more politicians. And is it just going to be limited to the Igbo or the Eastern politicians, or you intend to spread it out to other politicians?
At the moment, this is a family business, for avoidance of doubt. I need everybody to understand what we are doing here. Our people are dying. In Enugu, in Ebonyi, Fulani headsmen are invading communities, killing, maiming. 2 reverend fathers have been murdered in the last 3-4 months. There was a woman, one of our mothers, that was raped and killed. Everybody is saying it.
Yes.
And incidentally, this is happening in Okafor-Mefor's own state. What has he done? I heard him talking about the fact that he has done this, he has done that, he has traveled to the northeast, he has gone to south, he has gone to Middle Belt and donated money. Go and ask him, what has he done against what is happening in his backyard? He hasn't done anything. So what we are saying here, it's not about playing politics with our lives. The question we're asking is, for how long will it continue? We are tired of newspaper publications. We are tired of brown envelope journalism. What they are doing, these politicians, is when they go, if something happens, they will instruct their assistants or their aides to write something, and they will send it to journalists, they will publish it. Just in case, if you begin to accuse them of something, they will show you, that is what Okafor-Mefor was doing. He said he led federal government, he led the delegation to Nigerian federal government on the issue of Operation Python dance and IPOB and all that, and that he was doing it quietly. What we are saying is, if you are here to defend your people, come out in the open and defend your people, not in secrecy. To the extent that in fact, it's everywhere. Ayodele Fayose, the former governor of Ekiti State.
Yes.
Femi Fani-Kayode, these are Yoruba men. But they left, apart from defending their own people, they were also doing what our elders, our politicians should be doing for ourselves. We sent them, or we selected them to go and represent our people. Yes. They are not doing that. We want them to come out in the open and stand at the forefront and defend the interests of our people. That's what we are doing, that's what we are saying here. Apart from that, many people have been murdered, many Biafran youths have been maimed, and these politicians are still telling us one Nigeria, one Nigeria. Last year they convened what they call handshake across the Niger and said that without restructuring, that there will be no election. Where are we today and all that? And for avoidance of doubt, IPOB is not seeking for one Nigeria restructuring. We are going for outright restoration of the land of Biafra because people have been murdered. So many have been killed, millions have been killed, and as we speak, our people are still in prison. There are people who have been extrajudicially murdered and incarcerated. And these politicians are the people supporting it.
Yes, it's a no-brainer that the average Igbo man is Republican in nature. But I really just want to know, is everyone in on this? Both the elders, the youths, the entirety of the Igbo people, are they in and fully behind Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for, the autonomy of the Igbo land?
It's not autonomy of Igbo land, for avoidance of doubt. What indigenous people of Biafra stand for is, as the name stands, is...
I should use the word subsection, or what is that?
If you like.
Okay.
We are aiming for restoration of Biafra, agitating for restoration of Biafra, and Biafra we are looking for is the old Eastern region. Some part of this area they called South-South today, and some part of Middle Belt, for the simple reason that there was fraudulent delineation of boundaries in order to lessen Biafra agitation. And what we are saying today, in order to solve that problem, is for referendum to be conducted in all those areas so that people will decide where they want to be. And so, I have no business with politicians, Nigerian politicians, who are, clamoring for one Nigeria. Of course, they know that it's an elusive experiment.
Okay. I have a caller, Tunji. Hello, Tunji. Thanks for joining us.
From the Midlands, just a quick one to Uche Mefor. I just want to tell you that I do not feel it's right for you to IPOB to keep inciting the people, beating up politicians who travel abroad into the diaspora, and mainly you endangering life of many Igbo youth in the eastern Nigeria who don't even live abroad. Most people causing this problem live in the diaspora. They don't feel any pain. Do you think that is fair? I do not think so. We've been through enough in Nigeria. At this point, we should be talking about cooperation. You can talk about decentralizing Nigeria state. I think that's fine. You have genuine points on that. But trying to overheat the policy, I think we don't have to do civil war part 2. That's all I want to say. I'll listen to you now. Thank you.
Can you hear me? Hello? Okay, I think we lost
That's all right. The thing is, Tunji, of course, is not a Biafran for avoidance of doubt. But it is interesting, for us to be experiencing surge in people coming up to defend the so-called Igbos this time around. The question is, where were these people when our people were being massacred? Even now that Fulani herdsmen are everywhere, killing everybody, why are they not on the street defending the Igbo people? So I call this hypocrisy. At the end of the day, in Yoruba land, Dudua land, a lot of things are happening. I will advise Tunji to go and fight for Showore. Showore is illegally being incarcerated in detention.
Yes.
He has left Showore. On the hearing of tear gas, everybody ran away.
Of course.
Okay, so I don't think that he has that legitimacy to be advising me or indigenous people of Biafra on what to do with our own people.
Okay.
And we have said that this is a family business.
Noted.
Of doubt.
Noted. Okay, we're going to show a clip, the clip that, of course, have gone viral of members of IPOB outside the ambassador's residence in Japan. And when we come back, we'll have Dr. Don Pedro Obaseki back on set with the deputy leader of IPOB.
So we just want to have discussion with this Nigerian embassy, ambassador house, see where he's living, mansion with our money. This way he's living, so we are trying to get things right. You can see protection everywhere, police everywhere, but we cannot give up. We cannot give up. Look at where he's living. Look at the house. You know, look at the mighty mansion he's living here. These are and the people are saying that we cannot come here, but we are here today, and we are trying to make a record.
Femi Adetu, I warned you last night on the Facebook that I will be here today. Where are you?
Yes.
Where are you? Samish, can I?
Cameraman. No, that's no. Oh. Okay.
Please, we want you to follow.
So, everybody makes...
No, you don't need to cameraman.
Standing tall cameraman, eh? Or a cameraman? This Nigerian ambassador house, where the Nigerian keep our manager of Sudan.
As you can see, we have come to take Jubilee out and hand him over to the Japanese police. As you can see, they are here with us. They are here with us. We came to take Jubilee out from here and hand him over to the Japanese police because he's an impostor. They feel that we will not come. We are peace-loving people. And the police, I have to thank them because they are cooperative. Even though we didn't invite them, we didn't call them, but they have to be here. Just to show us that they are...
Okay, so really, I want you to tell me, why do you think President Buhari is not the one that is one Jubril from Sudan that you keep calling him? Why are you saying he's an impostor?
Why should somebody say that I'm a terrorist? Why should people say that myself and so many other innocent Biafran youths are terrorists? And everybody is jubilating. And probably, I don't know the school of thought you belong to.
Yes.
Everybody is jubilating. And for years, people's image are being dented and all that. And so, I don't see any reason why anybody will ask me whether this man is Buhari or Jibril. We have made our case. We have provided...
No, because you keep going on with it, and I'll tell you this. Let me tell you this. Just a minute. No, I'll tell you this. Because in the letter that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu wrote to the government of Japan, he said Buhari died in January 2017, and he was buried in Saudi Arabia, and that the man we have today is Jubril al-Sudan from Sudan. And you know, a lot of people seem to have run away with this, that President Muhammadu Buhari is an impostor. Is this a gimmick? Is it a game for, you know, or you're serious about it and then you have evidence to support this?
Do you think that it's a gimmick? That is number one. The second aspect of it is that incontrovertible evidence has been provided. It is everywhere online. It is now, the onus is on whoever is Buhari or Aminu al-Sudani or his aides, the cabals in Aso Rock, to come out and disprove it. Have they done that? Somebody said I'm a terrorist. I'm coming out here to say I'm not a terrorist. So has Buhari or Aminu al-Sudani, has he come out and say I'm Buhari or I'm Buhari and all that? Has he done that?
No, maybe
no
he felt
response.
he really doesn't want to.
Okay, so he doesn't want to. But we have made our case. It is now for them to disprove it.
And
or to take any
you guys
action.
are really making use of the social media, which I wouldn't know to say maybe to commend that or not. But with that, information gets to people quicker. And a lot of people seem to be digesting the information you're giving out. So, number one, like this issue of Jubril al-Sudan, and then the issue of Buhari not being in Japan. You know, so a lot of people have that impression, and the photograph you said was photoshopped, and the constant issue back and forth with Femi Adesina, the presidential spokesperson.
Again, this is a case of you disproving the evidence we have put forward. We are not mincing words about it. It is now left for those concerned to come out and say, this is not true and all that. The question should not be thrown back to me because we have made a case. So let them come out and disprove it. Let them come out and say, this is not Photoshop. The man in Aso Rock is not Aminu al-Sudani.
Yes.
It's Buhari. Let the man in Aso Rock come out and say, I'm Buhari. I'm not Aminu al-Sudani. He hasn't done that.
But there is a president who is not fully communicating with his people. So.
And you are proud of that character in Aso Rock as your president? People, no, let me just put it this way.
Yes.
The man they called Buhari, since 2012, 2013, has been on the street protesting. Even he ganged up against Jonathan. They said all manner of things against Jonathan to put Jonathan aside. And when they succeeded in doing it, they promised heaven on earth. You are witness to it. And all of a sudden, the once vocal president became very deaf and dumb. He doesn't talk anymore, even to talk to the citizens that the so-called citizens, the electorate that fraudulently put him there because he didn't win an election. He cannot talk. Let him come out in the open. We have challenged him. Come out and speak to your people. He cannot do that.
Yes.
People are not doing all those things for him. Now, the man, the person who is in charge of Aso Rock is Bakari or whatever he calls it, that he tried the ministers. If you want to, he can't get to me directly. If you want to get to me, go to him, the chief of staff and all that. You see how modern governance is run? You elected somebody, the person has not been able to confidently face the electorate and talk to them. People are dying, he kept quiet. They are wreaking havoc. Fulani headsmen are everywhere. And they are supporting them. One of the not certain excuses given by these people from the presidency was that Fulani headsmen are, they are defending themselves.
And they are not Nigerians?
And then Nigerians, and they are not Nigerians. They are not Nigerians, and then you allow them. Where did they get AK-47 and other sophisticated weapons of warfare they are using to maim and destroy lives? And the so-called Nigerian politicians, including those from Biafra land, are keeping quiet about it. And you want me to keep quiet? You want other people to keep quiet? Because life is so sweet, we don't want to do anything that will unruffle us or something like that. And the question is, for how long will they play games with their lives? If others don't do anything, we shall do something, and we are doing it. More importantly, we are not fighting for one Nigeria anymore or for restructured Nigeria. We are going for ultimate restoration of Biafra.
Okay.
And so there is no similarity between Obaseki that was here before and ourselves. I heard him say that IPOB agitation was internet and intellectual brigandage. That's an insult. And he appears to be saying, I don't have anything with IPOB and all that. Let me tell you something. There was a question thrown at him. He didn't answer it.
Yeah.
Would you allow people whom you are claiming to be Igbos and other people in the so-called Midwest?
I have a question. Let me speak with Austin.
Referendum.
Yes, I have a caller. Hello, Austin. Thanks for joining us. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from London. I just want to. I sat down here. I was listening to your previous guest, and now listening to the IPOB deputy leader. I just want to find out because according to their map, they put down parts of River State, Delta State, and the Ijaw people as Biafrans. So I just want to know, what do the Ijaw people have in common with the Biafrans? As far as I know, there's no connection between the Igbos and the Ijaw people, because if there's a connection between any tribe in Nigeria, the Ijaw people are more related to the Yorubas because they are part of the Otunba family history. So I just want to know, what connection do the Ijaw people have with the Biafra? And second question I want to say is that when Nigeria was divided into 4 regions, a lot of the Ijaw people did not benefit from the eastern region. Most of them went to the Midwest region. That's where they were able to get scholarships to educate themselves. Then the Igbo people were marginalizing all the other ethnic groups in the eastern region. That's my little contribution. I want him to respond on all these questions. Thank you.
Has made a statement of fact from his own perspective, isn't it?
Yes.
He made a number of allegations, and it is left for him to provide evidence that Ijaw people were marginalized and done all manner of things. It is also left for him to define the relationship between Ijaw people and the Igbo people. But I want to say something here. Question for him from me is, where was Ijaw people during the 1960s? The old eastern region, was Ijaw in the north, or was it in the Midwest, or in Yoruba land? If you can answer that question, then I will be very much generous to provide further information. Now, let me also repeat what I'm saying here, what we have said. Biafra we are looking for remains the old eastern region. Some part of this area they call South-South, the whole of the area they call Southeast, some part of Middle Belt. And because of the corruption that crept in during the so-called creation of state delineation of boundaries, gerrymandering of boundaries, a lot of people were uprooted from their natural environment and put into hostile communities, just in a desperate move to stop Biafra agitation. And what we are saying, we have a solution for it. Let there be referendum. Let people decide where they want to be. Why are they afraid of referendum, for goodness sake? Referendum
If
is
it
part
so
and parcel
happens,
of democratic
if
process.
it so happens that today President Muhammadu Buhari asks for a roundtable discussion, would you oblige?
It depends on, roundtable discussion can be on anything. It depends on what he's calling roundtable
On what
discussion
you are
about.
agitating for. If he says, come, let us talk.
The only thing that will bring us to negotiation table is Biafra. Simple as that.
Yes, if that is
Anything
stated,
outside that,
you would discuss
if
with
they're
him.
talking about how Biafra will go, we send our representative there. But of course, there are war criminals. Muhammad Buhari or whoever is behaving to be him in Asorok, pretending to be he himself.
You really believe
He's
that?
a war criminal, for avoidance
Okay.
of doubt. All those people, the chief of army staff, the police chief that have come between 2014 and up until this moment, and some criminal Southeast governors. These are war criminals because they have participated either directly or indirectly in maiming and spilling of the blood of innocent Biafran
But do you
youths.
think this government would actually allow for the succession of Biafra?
It doesn't matter. We don't care. And that is why we are doing what we are doing. We shall see who will get tired at the end of the day. They don't understand the mess that they have put themselves in. They thought that the present generation of Biafrans are the same with those that came before us, that when you intimidate, they will go and sleep. Or when you dangle money in their face, they will go and sleep. Just like this present couple of Southeast politicians we have. When Fulani, Arewa,
Yes.
Consultative Forum contacts them, what can you do to stop IPOB? People are going for contract from our place to stop IPOB, to go and collect money and then give information on the whereabouts of our IPOB members. These politicians cannot deny it. They are privy to all the python dances that have been conducted in Biafra land to kill, to maim, to destroy Biafran youths. Meanwhile, their children are abroad. They are preparing the future for them and destroying the future of those who are home. That is selfishness. And we are saying that it will not continue.
What would make you remain a part of Nigeria?
Nothing. It is too late. So much blood has been shed. We are going for Biafra. It doesn't matter how long it takes. They may say restructuring, we go back to the regional system. It is taking us closer to Biafra. At the end of the day, it is an abomination. It will be an injustice too many for us to abandon this cause, because many have died because of the name Biafra. And in this present dispensation, many IPOB family members came out and they vowed to fight for Biafra. And in the process, they were mowed down. We cannot abandon them. Our loyalty is 100% where they are.
Are you bothered?
And no matter how long it takes, Biafra shall be restored.
Are you bothered about the backlash you've been receiving?
What kind of backlash?
About giving the country a bad image abroad by your activities being unruly, by wanting to embarrass the president?
Embarrass the president? Is protest, civil protests, a crime? You need to ask yourself, if it is a crime, most of us would have been arrested. It is only in Nigeria that this mentality is reigning supreme. When you challenge a so-called elder who is obviously fraudulently deceiving people, they will say you are insulting and all that. I have given you an example. There are so many politicians, including an Ukrainian politician, a number of them, they were thrown into dustbin.
Yes.
Zimbabweans chased one of their political figures on the streets of London. There are so many. So why is this problem with Nigeria and Nigerians?
Okay.
Why that mentality?
Let us speak with Paul. Hello, Paul. Thanks for calling us. Let's have your contribution.
First and foremost, thank the deputy leader of IPOB for some explanations. But I just wanted to say whether IPOB believe in democracy.
Of course, that is why we are calling for referendum. Referendum is not come with a fiat or by a fiat. That is why they said Nigeria and Nigerians say that they are democracy.
Yes.
And so we want to follow democratic process. And we are calling for referendum. And they are saying, no, it is treason. So who is fooling who, for goodness sake?
Okay, one thing that many people have commended IPOD for is the fact that now we can get most Nigerian politicians to sit at home instead of coming abroad to spend the country's money, living lavishly. And of course, a lot of them come over here and across the world for health tourism, whereby our hospitals are in dilapidated states back home. Nigerians are dying, you know, every day from lack of proper health care. So with the treatment of Ekwerimadu, and with the constant videos that have gone viral that any politician that is being caught abroad will be severely dealt with. So we see like there's been some caution there from Nigerian politicians. But the Minister for Aviation, am I correct? Oh my goodness, the father, Rotimi Amechi, he has said that, who are you guys threatening? That he can travel whenever he wants to.
He was in a train going to River State. Let him come to Geneva. His name is Chibika Amechi, isn't it? He's an Igbo man claiming to be something he's not. Let him come to Geneva. But
you're going to have words with him. You're going to sit and have words with him.
What kind of words?
He would be maltreated.
We have
such treatment would be stopped.
I need to correct this impression. We are not attacking anybody. And if it is an attack, it's an attack with egg, commensurate with an attack with AK-47. Can you begin to rationalize?
Okay.
These people, okay, if it is an attack, we attack you with egg, you are attacking our people with AK-47, killing innocent people, and everybody is jubilating.
Because, of course, in societies like this, the AK-47 is not readily available. Let us speak with Uzoma. Hello, Uzoma. Thanks for joining us. Let's have your contribution. Hello, Uzoma.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, yes, Uzoma Marco.
Yeah, where are you calling from?
Yes. What I want to say, I just simply want to make one or two contributions into the discussion. As it is, the world knows what is happening in Biafra land. That is to say, the former eastern part of Nigeria. We must bear in mind that Nigeria was created by Britain. There were three nations that were involved to start with. We have the Arewas to the north, the Oduduwas to the west, and the Biafrans to the east. All the ethnic groups that formed part of the former eastern Nigeria is Biafra land. And I wonder if any civilization can allow the killing of Biafrans to date to say, yes, we want to remain part of Nigeria. Forever, we will never be part of Nigeria. The agitation for Biafra sovereignty will continue, and we must get it. Look at the mayhem in the whole of Biafra land. Look at the killings, the raping of our mothers, sisters, daughters, and so on. It is unacceptable. Even though the world is keeping quiet, looking the other way, it's not going to happen this time round. We are in the 21st century, and we are going to continue with the agitation for no matter how long it takes. We want to be free. We are Biafrans. We want to go back to where we were before the amalgamation.
Thank you very much, Uzoma. I see a lot of people share your passion.
Of course, but you were saying that you were asking me a question before whether generality of the people in the eastern region.
Yes, because there will be people who are not fully in support, are they?
Of course, people who are not in support of what we are doing are people who are either benefiting from Nigerian system or people who have questionable parentage, for avoidance of doubt, or people who are filled with envy and jealousy. Why not me? And all that. What we are fighting for is a generational cause. It is not for me or for my children. It is for everyone. So everybody has platform here. And by the way, I want to say something here. People say that we don't have respect for the so-called elders and all that. And I'm saying here, and this is our focus, this is our view. We have profound respect for elders. We have elders in IPOB as well. But we don't respect the stupid ones, the treacherous ones, the sellouts among us. Because at the end of the day, they are mortgaging the future of millions of Biafran generations already, that are yet to come. The future of the youth are mortgaged. The future of people who are coming after us are mortgaged. And these people are selfishly providing political and economic safe haven for their children abroad and all that. And we are saying that enough is enough. Since 1960s, they have been playing politics with people's lives, with the exception of the late people's general, Otunba.
Yes.
And this has continued. Every year, every electoral cycle, one fraudulent politician will come up and go and pay homage to Hausa Fulani, to Arewa Consultative Forum, and their cabals. And you ask yourself, what is all this thing? They want to serve them. They are subserviently serving them to serve the collective interests of our people for their own selfish aim. Go to the so-called Southeast, you will see that there is no motorable road. All the industries there that were there before, they are all moribund, not because it just died in natural death, but because of economic sabotage, because of wickedness.
You know, for me, like a friend would say, you're preaching to the converted. If you talk about the region being marginalized and everything else. But I still feel, and maybe quite a number of people, that talks will get us to where we want things.
Well, we get us talk?
Yes.
But we have explored avenue for dialogue. All these politicians telling you, IPOB is this, IPOB is that, especially from Biafra, and ask them whether we have not made contact with them before. Our leader, Nnamdi Kanu, told them, that was in 2017, go to Abuja, get me a date for referendum. Go to Abuja, tell them that our people are being marginalized. Let them fix the roads, let them fix the schools, that children will be going to school, let them open up the ports and airports for infrastructure, for another infrastructural facilities to be in a very good state. Our people are being deliberately and in a most wicked fashion being sidelined. And then those who are supposed to be representing our interests are sleeping and, building the economic and political capital for themselves and their children. And we are saying that this cannot continue. These are sellouts. Unless they change,
yes,
this is just the beginning.
Okay, I want to take you on, because you said you wanted to talk about it also, and we wonder why Don Pedro Obaseki left before this conversation ended, because he had promised that he was going to be part of this discussion, because he was talking about the map carved, and the Biafra map carved, and that Delta in Edo State is part of it, and you're saying you're going back to the old map when the regions were separated and brought together. We know that Edo Delta was part of the eastern region, and if these other two states say they don't want to be part of it, what happens?
So that is why the only way to resolve all those problems is referendum. We are not forcing anybody, but we are restoring Biafra the way it was before, because that was our inheritance wrongly robbed us. And we are saying, let Biafra be restored the way it was before. Anybody can belong to anywhere he wants.
Okay.
But because of these problems, people making this claim and all that, and because of this fraudulent delineation of boundaries, gerrymandering, and uprooting of communities and putting them into hostile communities where they don't have a say. We want referendum for people to decide. You can decide to belong to Sokoto. You can decide to go to Yoruba land and live. But let those who want to be part of Biafra decide as well. Okay. Why are they afraid of it?
Okay.
It is a democratic process.
Okay then. Thank you very much for speaking with me.
Thank you.
And then we hope we'll have you on, because this issue seems to be on the front burner of every news platform around the country, Nigeria, and of course on blogs. So thank you very much for joining me. Okay, viewers, I have been speaking with Mr. Uche Okafor-Mefor, who is the deputy leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. We've had a really good discussion, and hopefully, like I said to him, we'll be having this discussion again. I want to say thank you very much to our callers, our viewers, everyone who have made this program a success today. And hopefully next week, of course, we're going to do this again. And of course, I will not forget to say thank you very much to our sponsors, Papil and Camille Air and Beauty Limited. And that's it for today on the program. My name remains Rose Peter Graham.
Supermodel with beautiful virgin hair products, the best real hair guaranteed with Pape and Camille Beauty Hair. Pape and Camille Beauty Hair products. 4-pack Brazilian Plus closure for £90. Special offer, Brazilian hair, 8 inches for £10, 10 inches for £12, 12 inches for £15. Lace wig frontal, 10 inches starts from just £55. Find these and other great deals with 100% guaranteed human hair at the Pape and Camille store in Brixton. Hop into our Brixton store today or go online with free next day delivery at pchairlimited.com. With Pape and Camille, you have the freedom to be really gorgeous.